so much for joining me today. I'm so very excited to have you here. We have ACOTAR 6 and ACOTAR 7 coming up in, I think it's October and January of this year, next year. And I was told that I needed to finish Crescent City before those books came out, so I have slowly but surely been getting through those. If you saw one of my other videos, I read the first Crescent City, I can't remember what it's called. And then I just recently read House of Sky and Breath, I believe. First book, fantastic. Second book, still fantastic, but I was kind of confused. There was a lot going on and I was not having the easiest time following along, so I'm a little bit concerned going into the third book. I'm really excited to see what happens here. I think the way that we ended off on the last book, crazy. I didn't really expect there to be a crossover. I mean, I guess I expected some type of crossover with everybody saying that you needed to read Crescent City before we got the next ACOTAR book. I didn't really put any thought as to why I would need to read that. I didn't expect to see any of the characters, but to get what we got in the last one, crazy. I have House of Flame and Shadow here that I need to finish up. I put this on the back burner a little bit. I read the first chapter, most of the first chapter, and I was like, you know what? I just came off of reading like 3 massive books. I need to take a little breather, so I did. I read a little horror book in between. Not my favorite. So now I need to jump back into something that's really good and I'm really gonna enjoy that I don't want to put down. I did end up reading the Cliff Notes or whatever for the last book before going into this one, so I'm curious to see if I will have a full understanding of this. I guess if not, I can always just look up characters and everything like that and go from there. I'm not really that concerned about it. I do want to understand everything. I really do wish that I had a great memory and just understood and remembered characters from book 1 and then going into book 2. But it was confusing, and then there was a lot of different names for what the type of people were, so that was kind of confusing me, and then who they were, and then like the Hive was a person, not like an organization, which I thought was kind of odd. But yeah, that was that. I figured since I didn't get to talk about my confusion or anything in the last book, things that I liked, disliked, that it would be perfect to go ahead and get through this one, let you know what I think, and then whenever ACOTAR 6 and 7 comes out, we can read them together. Moving along, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna full spool this, so here's your fair warning, full spoilers. If you skipped, sorry, don't do that. I'm gonna get going on this and I'll see what I think. I'm also planning on making pretzels with beer cheese and then some garlic bread for supper tonight, so I'm gonna try to do some of that today. Hopefully I can get an audiobook and just get cracking on it. I think that'll help me get into the story a little bit more. We know sometimes I have a hard time getting into it, and the first like 100 or so pages kind of slip through the mind, so if I can start an audiobook, that would be lovely. I have since gotten used to the the dramatized version of the audiobook. At first it was really weird and really confusing. Now I'm understanding it. I get it. It's not as complicated and overwhelming, so if I can get that, that'll be a huge plus, but I'm not banking on that. Frozen for just a little bit too long, but it's okay. Also, let me know if these are getting discontinued or something, because I cannot find the orange ones literally anywhere. It's such a struggle, and I usually prefer to have the smaller amount because I feel like I have a caffeine intolerance. I do not do well with caffeine, so I prefer the smaller ones, but I literally cannot find them anywhere in orange. Anyways, I ate my pretzel while I was on the phone with my brother, so you did not see that, and I'm in my gaming corner. This is where I play games on my computer, my laptop. I'm not that cool. I downloaded Minecraft for the first time on my computer, so very excited. I'm getting that set up and started. I literally just finished Dispatch yesterday. So good. I'm missing it already, which is crazy. I'm not big into games like that where it's like choose your own adventure type thing. I don't really care for that. Sometimes I have trouble sitting through everything. Not necessarily my favorite thing ever, not something that I really like, but I saw the main cover of it and I put it in my Steam wishlist, and my brother was like, hey, I actually got this game. If you want, we can hook you up, we can make a little family, and then you can play it So I played it and really good. It's that book girly in me, right? It's the book girly in me that wanted the enemies to lovers. I was like not in for the main love interest whatsoever, and then I saw a little flicker in Courtney's eye, and I was like, yep, that's what we were going for, that's what we're rooting for, and thankfully that worked out. So yeah, we've got Minecraft booted up. Hopefully there's not anything that I'm not supposed to show you on there. And I'm gonna play it for the first time. First time playing Java Edition, which is pretty cool. Pretty exciting. I'm just playing some games, that's what I've been doing. Now that I chatted, I'm gonna get House of Flame and Shadow booted back up, and I'm gonna listen to it while I'm starting my Minecraft world. I'm not gonna lie, I expected to be thoroughly confused with the third Crescent City book. What is it, is it House of Flame and Shadow? I should have looked before I got in here, but whatever. I can never remember the name of the books to save my life. I am so thoroughly enjoying so far Bryce being stranded in the ACOTAR world. I don't know the different realms. I can barely even remember the people half the time, so I'm trying. But I don't think that I would have expected something like that to happen. I think usually whenever we see crossovers in books, it's usually like romance stuff, and we see like, oh, there's these characters that are together, yada yada, whatever. But like something about her being stuck in this world and them interacting together, and we already know kind of the whole ACOTAR backstory, and then now we are seeing her stuck in their world. Really cool. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not super confused as of yet, which is super great. I have not gotten very far into it by any means, so of course there is going to be some confusion to come. I feel like I'm going to get to the point where after this book I'm going to want to read another one, and then I'm not going to be able to get that for the foreseeable future. So yeah, I don't know, so far really enjoying it. And also on my Minecraft world I found a mangrove tree, which that's my favorite wood in the entire game of Minecraft. I love the mango tree wood. And in playing Minecraft on the Xbox with Nick, I have not been able to find one, so super excited about that in my world. Once I get somewhere with it, I'll show you, maybe, but as of right now, I'll just keep it to myself because I really suck at playing games. But anyways, super into the story so far. Very excited to see what we're gonna get on this next one. I am super intrigued by Hunt and I can't remember his name. I know it's just right off. Rune? Look at me. Look at me go. I am super intrigued by them being captured. I think that's going to be fun to see them kind of interact together. And then also Bryce, seeing how she's going to be able to get out of the pickle that she's in. And also just getting to relive with some of the characters of ACOTAR. Really fun. I'm loving it. I'm excited. I'm gonna keep enjoying it, and we'll see if I hit a snag. We'll see if there's anything that I just really am confused by. The only thing as of right now, I know they're talking about the Hive, the girl that's the Hive, I don't remember her name, but Rune's shutting her out, and I don't remember what the deal is. I guess he's mad that she's the Hive and she didn't tell him, something like that. I guess she's being a double agent. I don't really remember why she's mad after reading the cliff notes, so there's that. I guess that's a hang up for me, but I'll figure it out. I am currently on chapter 23. I'm on 30%. I will say something that I enjoy about this book more than the other ones, which is such a nitpicky thing, is this one actually has divisions in the sections of the chapters. So in the previous books we would be getting somebody's point of view and then it would switch to somebody else's point of view, but there was no indication at all in the book that there was a swap. In the audiobook it'll make like a swooping noise and you can tell that it's going from POV to POV, but when reading the book it would just be like, I don't know if you can even see, but like hypothetically this first paragraph would be somebody's point of view, and then starting on the second paragraph it would be somebody else's, and it would just completely shift, and if you weren't really paying attention you could completely miss that it's going from one point of view to the other. And there wasn't like a line, there wasn't anything to differentiate the two. And that was something that I did struggle with. I had to go back and read a few things because I was just so confused as to how it jumped or how it went from one thing to the next when it was just me not really paying attention. But like, I honestly won't fault myself too much for that because it's kind of dumb. This one though actually has like a line to show the difference between the two. So this is one point of view and then the line separates them, which is such a huge plus for me. I know that sounds super stupid, but genuinely anything like that really helps me keep the two separated to where I'm fully understanding what's going on. Huge win in my book. Really enjoy that. I'm really liking Nesta and is it Azriel? Something like that. I don't know. I can't pronounce these names. I'm enjoying both of them being in this book together. I think that since concluding Silver Flames, is that what it is? I'm pretty sure. Since concluding that book, obviously I liked Nesta more. I don't think I like disliked her. It was just kind of obnoxious. I didn't love reading about it the whole time, like a super broody person that's like everybody's trying to help but they're not really helping themselves until the very end. I think that kind of was a little bit for me. So I didn't really care for her character as a whole throughout that book, and I really just didn't care for that book that much. It was still good in the grand scheme of the series, but I think that she's a lot more enjoyable now. I enjoy them together with Bryce. I think it's really fun. The only thing that I'm a little confused on is the lady. I want to say her name starts with a T, but that's probably so wrong. It's like Thea or something. I'm trying to find it. It's probably not Thea, like not even a little bit. I don't know. They're obviously in the caves and they're trying to figure out what Bryce was sent to this world for. Now, obviously they figured it out, and in figuring that out, they got to talk to somebody, and the person that they were talking to was explaining, I think, the story of her mom and how she came to power and what happened and the whole story with that. And it kind of goes into how Bryce got her starlight thing. I don't really understand the whole backstory of that. I know that they were getting really mad, so I'm under the assumption that she was just a traitor. I think she was. That's kind of what I was thinking. I think that's what they got at by the end of it, so not really certain on that. That's a little bit confusing, but hopefully that won't be something that's super prevalent throughout the entire thing. Honestly, with my luck, it probably will be, and it's something that I actually needed to remember. Kind of like with the cauldron and all that stuff for Akhtar, it just right over my head. But so far there's not really much that's confusing me other than that, and then I'm getting the Hind and Pollux and the other person, all those people that are involved in messing with the guys that are down in the dungeon, whatever. I'm not really following along with who they are, what the deal is, but I'm assuming that they're just in on whatever the deal is with the people eating the starlight or eating their souls or whatever it is to keep them fed. I don't know. Me saying this sounds like really complicated and confusing, and I'm not quite sure how I'm getting it. I think it's because I've listened to a lot of it on audiobook, and if I can start it off on audiobook, sometimes that sets me off on the right path. So I'm liking it. Super good. I'm very excited to continue on and see what happens. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect Lydia to actually die. I don't know if they're gonna revive her. I don't know how that's gonna work. Hopefully, because I was kind of curious to see if her and Ryan were gonna actually make up and be together. But I don't know. Didn't expect that one. So I am still chugging along on House of Flame and Shadow. I'm not gonna lie, I have far less opinions than I expected to. I know reading the last book I was really confused and I kind of didn't really know what was going on, and we were introducing so many new characters that I was having trouble keeping up, and then there were so many things that were happening that I would just kind of like miss a little bit of the bulk of the information. So I kind of went into this one having no clue what actually happened. I mean, I got like the overall gist of it, but any of the more minute details, not even a clue. I have no idea, so I had to go back and read the summary, which I think I already said that. But I am currently 45% through, so I'm almost halfway through the book. I'm on chapter 42. Again, I don't really have many notes. I don't have many things that I want to say about this. I think the only thing that I've really noticed that I wanted to talk about, I've already said. Other than that, I'm pretty much just keeping up. I'm very into the storyline. I think that this one I'm enjoying more than I was the last one. For the most part, I think fantasy series, and I'll say like trilogy because this right now is broken up in like a trilogy for me. I think that I always have difficulty with the second book. So like first book's really good. Like first book for this one I gave 5 star, absolutely loved it. Second book, still really good and I still really enjoyed it, but I did have a lot of trouble with it, as we know, and then this one I think it gets back up onto that more excitement train, so I think that it would be like a 5-4 and then possibly a 5 for this for ratings. Obviously I don't know right now, I have not finished it, I'm not even halfway through at this point, but like I said, I don't have any new notes, which is good. Like, I have no complaints about that, nothing wrong with that. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm officially 60% of the way through. I'm on chapter 55, and the Autumn King just pulled up. He's supposed to be locked in a dungeon and all that. I didn't expect him to get out. I kind of just knew that she put him in there and was like, okay, whatever. I don't know if I really thought he was gonna die. I didn't really think much of it, but like, now there's a possibility that he could try to kill her, which is crazy. I hope that doesn't happen. They have like a really odd relationship and I kind of don't know how I feel about it. I'm not like feeling sorry for him. I wish that he would just work it out, but like also he needs to work it out too. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous for what's gonna happen in this tunnel. Oh my goodness, we have had so many revelations right now. The Autumn King and whatever king or leader of that one world that they went to with all the mist died. Look, I was not expecting them to die. And obviously with this world and them being able to bring people back to life and stuff, I don't really take many deaths super seriously anymore, which is kind of crappy because I feel like if someone dies, like, you want that, like, oh my gosh, like, that's insane moment, but then there's always a possibility to bring them back. But I think if they decapitate them, then they can't come back. So yeah, they piece them up. So they are gone, which is crazy. But also, I don't know how far in I am. I think I'm probably about like maybe 70% through right now. I don't know as of right now how we're going to continue, because at this point, like, they sound like they're about to go to war, and usually wars are about like 70%-ish through the book, so I don't really know, like, are they gonna go to war and win? I feel like if they do go to war, they're not gonna win in this book. That's just the vibe that I get, because I do think that we're gonna continue on. Like, I don't think this is just gonna be like a trilogy series, unless if they do like first 3 trilogy and then it continues on. But yeah, very insane. I was not expecting that at all, but I'm kind of pleased. Now they don't have to worry about that, and that's just one more group of people that are down for the count. Oh, and then also, what is her name? Sabine? Is that the wolf leader? She is on one. And I really feel so sad for her dad. That, like, really sucks. I hate that. Hopefully they get her in check too. It is so scorching hot out here. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to film that much, but I'm finishing up the last little bit of House of Flame and Shadow in my tanning pool because I am dying. I literally don't have AC, so this is cooler being outside in the water than being inside sitting there. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this, see what I think of the last little bit. I'm gonna try my best to film some. There's just no shade, so I don't really know where I would set everything up, but we'll see. I'm gonna be so straight up with you. This is gonna be such a hasty end because it is so hot in here and I do not want to be in this room for any longer than I have to be. I have the fan pointed on me, so if you can hear it, I'm not even gonna apologize. But I finally finished House of Flame and Shadow, and I think that this ending overall was such a good ending. Obviously we had to lose Jessica in the process, and I do think that that sucks, but I think that she just had the personality that it made sense, and it made it even more meaningful that she was the one to sacrifice herself to get Bryce out of the situation that she was in. For whatever reason, I think if it was anybody else, it would have been like not as meaningful or impactful. For whatever reason, the fact that it was Jessica and the fact that she has given her such a hard time throughout the books, and then she was the one that ultimately helped save her. Perfect ending in my opinion. I think that that was so sweet and heartfelt, and I absolutely love that. Obviously, again, I hate that she died. I really do. But I think it just completely wrapped it up in like such a great way that I was not expecting at all. Now, obviously, small brain, small memory over here. There's a couple things that I just do not remember happening. I do not remember Sabine, the leader of the wolf pack, whatever. I don't remember her dying. I remember her killing the older guy when he granted Ethan Prime, but I don't remember her dying at all. So I think I found out that she died, and then that just kind of completely slipped my mind. I had no idea that that happened. Also, let me know if this is a thing that was discussed, but I feel like I don't remember seeing or hearing anything past the other wolf girl. Her name started with an S too, can't remember. Her getting turned into a Reaper. She was a Reaper, and then they were trying to save her. They were trying to like do something to where they could give her the option to choose again. But I don't know what happened post that. I don't know if I read it and it just completely slipped my mind, or if I didn't see anything and that was not addressed. I don't know if it was addressed, which it probably was. Let me know, because I am curious about that. I'm not gonna lie, I did not see this book fully wrapping up. Once we figured out that the first Starlight thing, whatever, core, if that got destroyed, then it was going to destroy the world. It kind of made me think that there wasn't going to be like an absolute resolution in this book. We weren't actually going to get what we were needing to out of it, and that was going to lead into the next book. But this being kind of wrapped up makes me think that the next book in the series isn't going to be about Bryce. It's going to be about somebody else. Obviously, I don't really know. I don't know if we're going to like dive more into the whole Pegasus thing at the end. I don't, like, maybe that's going to be like a plot point for the next book. Maybe that was like a plot twist towards the end, or like our cliffhanger that we have to wait till the next one. I don't think that was big enough to be a cliffhanger personally, so I don't really know what the deal is with that, but maybe, which I'm assuming we'll explore more into that. And then also, what was it? Something about Nesta. She gave Nesta the Star Sword and said that Nesta had the star tattoo as well, and that she needed to explore what that meant for her. So, kind of wondering if that's maybe what's leading into the next ACOTAR books, if it's going to be like more about Nesta and not about, is it Elaine? I think it's Elaine. I think that that just came off the dome. I think I remember that, but I have no idea. Couldn't even tell you. All in all, I really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed this one a lot more than I liked the second one. I think the second one was just a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot going on. This one, since I didn't have much information about like who each individual person was, like the Hind and Pollux, and like I know who they are, but like I don't really know what they are and what they were doing. Were they, or at least Pollux, was he part of the Asteri? I don't, look, I'm so confused. I have no idea. They're all dead, so it doesn't matter to me at all. Like, not even a little bit. Everybody that had similar names that I was like, they all sound the same because they're super close in names and they all start with the same letter, I don't have to worry about it anymore because they're all dead, which is kind of nice. But yeah, they murked everybody. Like, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting every single person to die. Good thing that they did. I'm content with that. But again, I just feel like, I mentioned it before, I think it was a little bit fast. I don't think that there was a lot of like fighting necessarily that we saw. There wasn't any like, oh my gosh, like we're seeing this happen, like what's gonna happen, who's gonna win. It was more just like, oh, this ultimate thing is gonna happen and they're just gonna like disintegrate immediately. So there was not like a lot of anticipation that I had for those scenes, which kind of sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. It's the least of my concern. Very content with the ending, very happy with the way that this ended. And I don't feel like I am in desperate need for book 4 as of right now. I was kind of worried that it was going to leave off on a major cliffhanger and I was going to just like absolutely want to dive into the next one and then have to sit there and wait for the next ACOTAR books, probably 3 of them to come out, I would say, before we're getting the next Crescent City at least. I don't know though, I don't keep up with anything, that's just my assumption. But I think the way that we ended off right here makes sense for going into new books, and I'm curious to see then if the next book of this is going to involve somebody different. I kind of hope it does, because I feel like Bryce and Hunt's storyline has run its course. I'm content with it. I don't feel like I really need any more. Again, I'm one of those people that I enjoy the buildup of the romance and the buildup of creating the relationship, but the relationship itself, like once we get to it, I'm like, okay, like that was great, cute, whatever, like let's move on. So I think at this point now, them being together and all that, I'm ready to move on. I'm content with moving on, and I'm fine with it being moving on to somebody else. Another thing that I noticed while reading these books is that the name for the next book was in the previous book. So in first book, they obviously had the name of the second book. Same thing with second book, they had this name of this book in the actual book itself while you're reading through it. They mentioned it, and I was very, very eager to see if I could find it for myself in this one for the next book. I didn't see it at all. I could not find another house of whatever and whatever. So if you saw one that I missed, let me know, because I was really trying to keep a close eye on that to see if I was able to guess the next title, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it was more like, hey, we're doing ACOTAR next, we're switching gears, so we're not going to put as many like Easter eggs and cliffhangers in this one, which makes sense. And I'm very pleased with that. I feel nice that that's the thing, because then I would absolutely have no clue what happened at the end of this book going into a next one whenever it comes out. Rating, I think I'm gonna give this one a 4-star. The first one, I just immediately gave it a 5-star. It just felt the vibe. It was a 5-star. This one, I feel content with it being 4-star. I did like it more than the last book, obviously, so that did play a factor, but it still just didn't feel like a 5-star to me. The first one, absolutely 5-star feelings through and through. This one, not quite. Again, I still really enjoyed the storyline. Definitely a lot higher rating because it is like a book 3 for a series. If it was just like a standalone book, I probably wouldn't have cared for it as much, obviously, but just putting that out there. But yeah, I think 4-star, I'm content with that. I think overall it's going to be about a 4-star series for me. Not mad about it by any means. I'm still very content with a 4-star. Curious to see if the next books are going to continue on that same 4-star train or not. But those are all my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on House of Flame and Shadow. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything that I had to say, and also let me know what books you're curious to see me read in the future. I don't really know. Again, we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants here. I'm just picking and choosing as I please. So if there's a book that you want to see me read, comment down below what that is, and then I can add it to the TBR list, or the to be read in a video list. That's more like it. But that's it. That's all I got for you. As always, I greatly appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and for reading this bad boy with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hopefully will get to see you in the next one. See ya.